Yo, what up, it's Don.
Samuel here.
Soul Brothers back up in it.
Ooh, Adidas has been killing it with their basketball shoe lineup. They pretty much redid every single shoe and released some new actual lines, I would say. Are they gonna
Totally new silhouettes?
Yeah, I mean, is it gonna be the Marquee Boost 2 or 2019 next year, or is it gonna be a different shoe? I'm not sure. I'm kind of mad that they discontinued the Crazy Explosive. Remember when the original one came out with the Prime Knit?
Yeah.
And then we got it and we're like, dude, this is freaking
nice,
nice, right?
Crazy.
Anyways, this is the Marquee Boost full length boost. It's $120 for this low, and the high is $130. If you guys want to cop, we'll leave a link in the description box. But let's get it started off with the Tracciones. You have a slightly translucent, I mean, it's probably like 90% opaque. You can barely see through it. You have a herringbone pattern throughout the entire outsole. And of course, you guys already know how good herringbone is, right? I don't know, man. Seeing from this lineup of Adidas shoes, you know, most of their shoes uses herringbone. Some of the shoes that uses the herringbone outsole pattern is not very good. So I think the performance of the actual traction has mostly to do with the rubber compound. You know what I'm saying? Because like there's some weird patterns that have really, really good stopping powers, and there's just some, you know, there's herringbone that doesn't have good traction pattern. But anyways, yeah, so on a clean court though, this has a really good stop. You're gonna be stopping on a dime, sticks to the floor like glue. You have no problem with this. But on dust, it's a pretty big issue. I mean, it picks up a lot of dust really, really quickly as well. So like I found myself wiping the shoe a lot. And when I wiped it, I had a few good stops, and then right away dust would get stuck on it again. I have to wipe again, or else I'm gonna, you know, start sliding again. You know, so like the dust does affect it a lot too. Or you know, like like the PG2, you know, it's not really good on dust, but then it just slides just a little bit. It's just not a good stop sometimes. But then on this, if there's too much dust on it, if there's too much dust buildup, you just start sliding like a lot. You know, and then sometimes I did slip out. So it wasn't as bad as the Pro Visions and the next level for me. Definitely not as bad, but it just, dust wasn't very, very good. You know what I'm saying? Like the stop just wasn't as good, and it just picks it up really fast. It's pretty hard to wipe off as well. So if you're playing on a pretty dusty court, you should probably watch out for that, and you're gonna have to wipe a lot. Outdoor use should be okay. It's a slightly hard rubber, and it's pretty deep as well. So outdoor use should be okay. Probably not the best option because it's not the hardest rubber, but it should hold its own on outdoor courts. But overall, I was pretty impressed with the traction when it was very clean. But when it was dusty, man, I didn't really like playing in it too much. So I was a little bit disappointed there because we do play on dusty courts. But there's that.
Okay, moving on to the Cushion full length boost.
Yes.
How boosty is it?
It is pretty damn boosty. Not too boosty though, because I don't like too boosty boosts. You know what I'm saying? So in the heel, you have a good amount of heel compression, and don't be fooled by the you know, the boost
size of the boost coming out.
Exactly. So it looks really thick, but it feels like it comes up a little bit on the side. So that's basically, it's not the full thickness of the boost. Your foot isn't like right on top of that.
Right.
But still, there is a good amount of heel compression. It's slightly bouncy. It's not too mushy though. I hate mushy cushions, especially in the heel. But they didn't make it too mushy in this shoe. And of course, you guys already know, very good impact protection, especially when you're heel striking. They thin it up a lot in the forefoot, but you can still feel the boost underneath your foot. It's really weird because it's a stiff strobel board. But like when I'm like running and sprinting, I can definitely feel the boost like underneath my foot, and it's like really plush, very soft. So you guys already know this is a really, really nice cushion setup. It gives you everything, you know, gives you good court feel, gives you good responsiveness, you know, especially in the forefoot, good impact protection. There's a little bit of, you know, compression in the heel. And a slight bounce in the heel as well. So yeah, the cushion setup is A1. You guys already know.
Right. Moving on to the upper, very, very interesting.
Yes.
Especially for a $120 shoe. You know, this material feels pretty nice.
Feels a little plasticky though, no?
Well,
I mean, in hand,
it looks kind of premium.
It looks cool, but like in hand, it doesn't feel the best.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little
flimsy a little bit, right?
kind of rough, coarse, but I don't know. I kind of like it.
Really?
I mean, I didn't test the shoes, but just by touching it, you know.
Yeah.
And aesthetically, it's kind of decent looking, you know,
Yeah.
for the price.
And you have some fuse here where the lace holes are, and a lot of fuse on the medial side as well. And you have a lot of padding here in the ankle area, which feels really nice, which we'll also get into. And the tongue is also a really interesting material.
Feels kind of like the D-Rose 9.
Oh yeah,
material.
exactly. That's what it feels like. But yeah, so in hand, not the most premium like material ever. You know, knits are not all made equal. But on foot, it gets the job done. Really soft. You don't really need to break it in at all. There's no pinching. So yeah, performance-wise and on foot, while you're playing, it feels real good. But just not the most premium materials ever. So yeah, there's that. Moving on to fit. Alright, so when I first got it, it felt really good, you know, walking around in it. But then I started playing in it, and then the material stretched out a little bit. You know, so like at first it felt really good because it's actually really tight in the toe area. But then once I broke it in a little bit, it started to stretch out. I felt a little bit of length, you know, a little bit of length. So just, it does run a little bit long. So I don't know, man. I feel like it's going to be a little too tight lengthwise though. Like if you go down half size. Because it's not like too long, it's just a little bit of length. So I don't know how that feels. I don't know how you guys would, like it all depends on what you like. You know, if you don't mind that, then you probably go true to size. If you do mind that, you don't like that little bit of space, then probably try half a size down from your Adidas size. But yeah, I just had a little bit of length, nothing too crazy. Width-wise, I would say it's slightly narrow. It's pretty tight width-wise, so watch out if you're a wide footer. It sucks if you're a wide footer. There's no shoes.
It's crazy.
Every single shoe is pretty narrow and pretty tight. So yeah, and it feels really nice on my foot. There's no dead space in the toe area or actually anywhere in the shoe. So yeah, for my foot, it was pretty damn nice, except for the little bit of length in the toe.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, support and lockdown?
Support and lockdown is phenomenal. So you have this little rubber guard. It's to cage the boost as well as cage you into the shoe because it does come up a little bit in the forefoot. And I feel like there is an internal TPU heel counter and the boost does come up in the heel and midfoot area, so you're caged in as well from that standpoint. So yeah, lateral containment is really good. Materials are very supportive.
How's that heel lockdown with these Achilles pillows?
Oh yeah, so there are crazy Achilles pillows.
Like super crazy.
Yeah, so if it didn't have this, the heel slippage would be really bad. I could feel the actual like Achilles pillow, you know,
holding you down.
Exactly. It feels really good.
Right.
It feels really good. It feels comfortable on the Achilles, and I feel it locking me down. So yeah, there is no heel slippage. It feels really good. Thank you, Adidas, for doing that. And also, it's a really wide shoe as well. You have a really pronounced, you know, very sharp outrigger here.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be very stable. And another thing about the shoe is that it's one of the flattest shoes as far as like the outsole goes. Yeah, exactly. So one thing that I kind of didn't like is that like when I'm like running down the court, it kind of slaps.
Right.
You know, like the heel to toe transition is pretty, you know, it's really smooth and stuff, but it just like kind of slaps because it's so flat.
Yeah.
You know, so anyway, it's just a little minor gripe. But yeah, so support and lockdown is really good in this shoe. If you want the extra ankle protection restriction, you know, you should probably get the high though.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright, let's weigh these bad boys really quick.
Probably pretty heavy, right? I think like 12, 13?
Yeah. 12.95.
12.95 ounces. Yeah, it feels a little heavy, a little bulky. That's not super heavy though,
no.
as far as weight goes. But it does feel a little bulky, especially here. If the boost is pretty chunky. The material is really puffy here in the ankle area as well. So not the most minimal feeling shoe. And also you have a lot of like you can...
A lot of width.
Yeah, exactly. So it feels...
the cushion kind of protrudes out.
Yeah.
Everywhere, and a lot of the heel, like almost a quarter of an inch, it pops out from the upper.
Exactly.
It's like a ledge, you know.
Yeah, so it feels a little chunky, a little bulky, not clunky at all though. But when you're playing, yeah, you definitely feel responsive. I guess besides the traction on dust. But yeah, if it's on a clean court, then you're gonna feel really light and fast on your feet. Overall comfort. Yeah, if you're gonna if you want to casually walk in this, go ahead. This is a super comfortable shoe, especially with that boost. And also, it looks like a casual shoe as well.
Yeah, it does.
Which kind of leads into aesthetics. I like these.
I think these are fire.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely like a, it's a certain kind of vibe. It's kind of got somewhat of a retro aesthetic to it.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of that. If you're not, I guess you're not, but...
And also, it's also one of the shoes that does off-court and on-court really well. Like some basketball shoes kind of like, I don't know, what would be a shoe that kind of looks weird? That maybe the Kyrie 2, I don't know.
I don't know, like the Currys are kind of...
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Are kind of weird, off-court.
Yeah. But anyways, aesthetics is also really dope. Durability should be good. Yeah, Boost does bottom out after, not quickly, but it does bottom out after a while. Traction does feel like it'll be good though. Like it should hold its own, and the materials seem durable as well. So durability should be good. Not the most durable. It's not like a tank, but it should last. It should last a pretty long time.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to breaking time. Breaking time, really no breaking time. Traction is good right out the gate. Never really broken on dust. Boost feels real nice right out the box, and so does the upper. So yeah, really no breaking time for this shoe.
Alright, I guess let's wrap it up.
Wrapping things up, $120. That's basically a budget model for us. You can't really get anything cheaper than that.
Yeah, too good, much cheaper. I mean, there's a
Exactly.
few shoes that are really good that are very cheap, but that's kind of the bottom of the spectrum nowadays.
Yeah, so it's a really good performer. I'm very impressed with Adidas. The only thing I would say to watch out for is the traction on dust. Everything else seemed really, really nice. It is a little puffy, a little bulky. But other than that, it's a great performer. So if you guys want to cop a pair, I would heavily suggest that you do just be mindful of that dust. You're going to be wiping a lot. But anyways, that's a performance review. Hope you helped you guys out, and we'll see you guys next one.
Later.